Thank you. Thank you very much. So thank you everybody for braving it on this, I don't know what are we on now, Storm Zebra, we're in the Zeds. I think it's kind of the last effort of winter. Maybe it's a good thing because, you know, you couldn't go out and go to the park or something, you had to come here. So it's nice to be playing again. I've had a few concerts, but nothing like what I used to do. And I think, you know, it looks like this might be the last concert that I do with all the masks and everything. It's kind of a moment in time. So it's great, it's being videoed as well, which is great. So we can look back and laugh. So now we're taking it, well, also music from Spain, but the next two pieces are linked. They're both homages, and in a way, one piece came out of the other. The first is the Manuel de Falla's homage to Debussy. He wrote it just after Debussy died. And then the piece after that is Joaquin Rodrigo, which is in a way a reaction to this piece. It even has some little quotations from the De Falla piece. So it's kind of interesting, two composers, you know, looking to another composer and getting some inspiration from that. So, and in fact, the first piece, the Manuel de Falla piece, has a little tiny quote of Debussy at the end. So I'm going to start with that. This is Manuel de Falla's homage to Debussy. actually I've changed the program slightly, the order of the program. I think on your instruction manual there is the Britten next, it's the Benjamin Britten, but I'm going to play the Torroba next and finish with the Britten. That's I don't know, I just think it's better, but we'll see. I guess you'll never know. Maybe I'll do the whole concert again after. I think on the first time I ever did a tour, it was just an Irish thing, maybe 8 concerts or something, and I started off with one program, and every night I reorganized it, and in the end I came back to the final one. I did it the way I did it the first day. It was I had it the best order. And, So yeah, interesting sort of theme across these pieces is that none of them are written by guitar players. All the composers didn't play guitar, or maybe they played a few chords at a party or something. I don't know, but they didn't play, full on. They weren't guitarist composers, which a lot of guitar music is written by guitarists. I guess because it's kind of a weird instrument actually to write music for if you come from piano or something, trying to understand how you need 2 hands to do what you only need 1 hand to do on the piano. But all the pieces written by non-guitar composers, and I suppose the Scarlatti piece in the beginning is written for harpsichord, but still, I'm pretty sure Scarlatti didn't play the guitar. And Torroba was an interesting composer. He was probably the first. It's hard to say who exactly was the very first person, but when André Segovia, the Spanish guitarist, started to look for pieces, he wanted more serious music for the guitar, less kind of salon, whole sonatas and whole suites with various movements. And Torroba was certainly one of the first ones, if not the first, to write him a piece. And Torroba had been mostly writing orchestral music for small orchestra and things like that. So it's very interesting. They always bring different things to guitar pieces. And this piece is a little bit like that. I always think it sounds like it could have been written for the orchestra. It has 3 parts. The first is a fandanguillo, and then there is a beautiful sort of melancholic song, Arada. And don't worry, I'm not going to sing. And finally there is a dance movement, which is just called danza. And I'm also not going to dance. You can get your money back on the door if you're unhappy about the dancing. But Torroba is a lovely composer, really thoughtful. And of course, I think when people write, they're not guitar players, then it works very well on the 8-string guitar then, because they didn't play the guitar anyway, so they don't care. It doesn't matter that there's a few extra strings. I probably should have played that one last. Well, it's a very different ending now to the concert. I mean, the Benjamin Britten piece, I played this many years ago. It's probably, you know, I'm getting so old now when I think I played this years ago. It's like 15 years ago, you know, it used to be like... So I played this, I think, yeah, I played it for my master's recital, so 2003, something like that. Yeah, 20 years ago, eh? And I started playing it again. I'm sorry I haven't got it memorized. I actually was a bit ill during the week, so I'll have to use the music for most of it. Maybe I won't need it, we'll see. But it's just an incredibly well written piece, and it's sort of like a masterclass in composition. It finishes, it's a homage to John Dowland, the lutenist, who may well have been in Dublin. And we have some of his music in Dublin as well, in the Marsh Library and some of the original first editions anyway. But John Dowland, the sort of melancholic lute player, singer, and Britten's partner, Peter Pears, used to play in recital with Julian Bream, the English guitarist, playing lute songs and then guitar and voice songs. And Britten wrote quite a few songs for guitar and voice. And eventually Julian Bream persuaded him to write this piece, the Nocturnal. I think Britten probably thought he was going to get like a 5-minute piece, and he got like this like 17-minute kind of amazing, you know, kind of masterwork. And what Britten did that's so interesting is he made a set of variations on this John Dowland song. But they're not just variations on the tune, they're variations on the whole idea of the song. So the song is called Come Heavy Sleep, and it's about, you know, living and dying and being awake and dreaming, and all this sort of idea of there being two worlds. And every single movement in the piece has some sort of dichotomy, whether it's a rhythmic one thing against another or two different tunes happening at the same time. There's always something, I don't want to say fighting against another, but there's always two themes in each variation. And what he did that was so clever was he saved the actual theme, the real John Dowland song comes at the very end of the piece. So it's almost like this feeling that you've been dreaming about the piece or thinking about the piece somehow, and then finally you get it in reality, you know. So it's a really interesting idea, and he used that again in some of his other music, some of the cello suites and things later on. But I don't know if anybody did that before Britten, but it makes for a really interesting guitar piece. And yeah, it's been a while since I played it, because actually it sounds ridiculous, but the piece always kind of upsets me a bit. You know, it's like it's hard on your emotions. You know. But hopefully, you know, we'll get through it, right? We'll be all right. you, you're too kind. So for the encore, I think I'll play the Benjamin Britten again. Maybe backwards for. No, thank you very much. It's funny. I'm glad my mother's not at this concert because she hates the Benjamin Britten. She gives out to me for playing it. But you know, during the pandemic, I decided I'm just going to play all my favorite pieces from now on. Not that I don't care about you guys, but if you spend your time trying to please everybody, you end up pleasing nobody, I find. So, yeah, encore. I think I'm going to play. I had sort of two choices, but I'm going to play something a bit lighter, but from the same period, but from here, from Ireland, and actually, I'll play a little piece of Turlough O'Carolan. And of course, we know Turlough O'Carolan famously played behind a bush on Parnell Square. This one, Miss Delaney, who was, I don't know what her first name was, just known as Miss Delaney, and she was kind of a supporter of the arts, and she had all her, I always think it's really patronising for O'Carolan, who's probably an amazing musician, you know. She invited all her posh friends around for tea, and O'Carolan played behind a bush, and then emerged, you know. Maybe he played this tune, so I think it was around here on Parnell Square in one of the nice houses. So. This is, oh my God, I've forgotten the name of it. It's called, I'm like a real child musician now, I can't remember the name of the tune. Eleanor Plunkett, it's Eleanor Plunkett. The good news is I do know the tune, just couldn't remember the name for a second. I told you that Britain had an effect on me, you see. So thank you all, and thanks for coming, and I hope to see you again. It's so great to be playing again. Feel a little bit out of practice, but you know, we get there. So thank you very much.